Joseph YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Plus size women are upset that men are afraid to admit that they're not attracted or would pursue long-term committed relationships, marriage, etc. with fat chicks. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Or marry a plus-size girl.
Oh, yes, because beauty is within.
These videos keep popping up on my For You page, and they really bum me out. And it's not because of, like, the ratio of yes to no answers at all. It's more because the responses make it so clear that, like, 95% of people do not put any, like, seriously critical thought behind, like, their own perception of what fatness means and, like, how fat phobia shows up in their life and in their dating life.
Fat phobia. There we go. That's how we're starting it off.
I'm going to explain why. So in all of these videos, I feel like there's like 4 different categories of answers that range from like least offensive to most offensive. I'm going to start with the one that annoys me the absolute most. And it's actually the people that, like, when they're asked if they would date a plus size boy, girl, person, whatever, they say yes, and then immediately follow it with, oh, because looks don't matter. All that matters is what's within. This answer annoys me the absolute most because you are essentially implying that it's impossible for someone to find someone in a bigger body attractive. I personally feel like this response is way more insidious than someone saying no because it's not my preference.
I get what she's trying to say there. And you got to remember that this is coming from the understanding that anybody who's not attracted to fat chicks is fat phobic. Now, listen, just recently I did a video on this channel. I didn't know I have hella chubby chasers. BBW, what's that Drake line? I know I love my women BBW. A bunch of BBW lovers here on the Coffee Pod. They're there. And of course, there's the even larger majority of men who have in the past would smash like a chubby chick, right? We know that in most cases. But this woman is upset because the guy said, oh, it's the inside beauty that matters. Now, let's assume that he's telling the truth. He's basically saying, I am willing to give up what she looks like on the outside if the inside is worth it, if she's a good person, if she's a good character. She doesn't like that. She wants to hear you say, oh, you're still beautiful on the outside. Well, that's just really not the case, right? What's most likely is that man is afraid to tell the truth. He's afraid to serve some coffee.
I hate coffee. It's so strong.
And how can you blame people today when you've labeled everybody who doesn't find someone who's fat attractive, fat phobic, right?
The next category of answers that I think is like maybe a little bit less offensive than that one, but still drives me crazy is the answer, no, I wouldn't. And the reasoning being, oh, because I live an active lifestyle, I live a healthy lifestyle, and I want someone that matches my lifestyle. This one drives me crazy because it's sort of veiled in the idea of like, oh, I just have a preference and it's okay to have a preference. I want someone who matches my lifestyle. The problem with this one is, though, that your premise that fat people are inherently not as active as you or don't take as good of care of themselves or aren't as healthy as you is just entirely false.
What? Okay, but let's entertain it. You may be active, but can you keep up?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
I'm not going to go into like why that's false, but like if you do any further research, you know that fatness is not causational to what your lifestyle is or looks like. And really it's just perpetuating like stereotypes.
So fatness, what's happening to the world, bro? What is happening to the world?
The third category of responses that I don't necessarily find like particularly offensive, I just think it's sort of like naive or like willfully ignorant, is when someone's like, oh, well, you wouldn't ask me if I would date a skinny person, why are you asking me this question? You shouldn't even be asking me this question. It shouldn't even matter. I'm gonna have to make a part 2.
Yeah, no, thank you. Let's read these comments, man. Let's get this video over with. Bizarre thought process. Let's check out a few of these comments. First comment here says, you may be a garden troll, but I can still love you for your personality. Bro, that's not the compliment you think it is. Would you guys want to watch the second? Let's see. You guys might want to check out the second part. I'm doing this for you guys. Maybe I'm on this. And guys, listen, I'm well aware. I have nothing. I don't think anybody should have anything against anybody who's willing to date, like plus size women, even if you may prefer like a little bit bigger, fat, or anything like that. I think it's a problem when you're upset about other people's expectations or preferences, or you can't handle that somebody looks at you and says, yes, if I dated you, I'd be compromising looks. Because that person may think, well, I'm not attracted to fat people for long-term relationships. And I have to say that because will they bust the cheeks? Yes.
Or marry a plus size girl.
Oh, yes. Because beauty is within.
All right, so as I was saying, the issue with this like third category of responses, that like, why are you asking me this? It shouldn't even be a question. It's not something that I consider. To me, it's just like, while I agree that in an ideal world should be the case, it's just not the world that we're living in. I sort of equate this answer to someone saying that they consider themselves like colorblind when it comes to race. It's just sort of like negates the actual experiences and situations that are happening and isn't true.
I think it's kind of corny though. It's kind of like those videos of black dudes that go around asking white women, would you date a black guy? Like, why are you gonna do that? All right, why?
The fourth category of responses is my personal favorite responses to these questions that I've seen. And that's people who just give like a simple yes or no, I would or I wouldn't, because it's my preference. To me, this answer is the best one, because someone is saying that like, this is what I find attractive, and either I am able to find a plus size person attractive or I don't, but I could see how someone else does. To me, that's like the subtext, is I could see how this could be someone else's preference. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think that these like preferences are somehow like inherent to people, that they're actually just born either being attracted or not attracted to fat people? Absolutely not. I 100% think that the amount of people that would say, no, it's not my preference, is way higher than it might actually need to be, just because like we're socialized to feel that way. Now, I personally believe that every person should do their own like work and reflection of trying to dive into what like they find attractive and why they think they find that attractive and where that comes from, because I personally think like all people's perceptions of what they find attractive just comes from their lived experiences and the things that they feel like they're lacking in their life, or certain, insecurities they might need to make up for. So I
imagine being a broke man and a woman being like, yeah, you really can't afford dates. And you look at her and be like, I think you really need to delve deep into why you think a man should have any money at all, right? Only women get away with this type of perspective on relationships. I'm done. Let's check out this next comment. Says, beauty is within. And then goes on to say, I can be plus size and be beautiful. Depends on who you're talking to. Here's another comment that says, yes, every answer is so backhanded and they serve it to us as if we're starved. That's funny. No pun intended. Goes on to say, should cheer and lap it up. I roll. Another comment here says, yes, saying looks don't matter, it's what's within, is way more hurtful than someone just saying no. Another comment here says, my ex would always say, well, looks don't matter. I'm attracted to other things. Okay, so you're saying you don't find me physically attractive? Ha. Another comment here reads, exactly, I want someone to find me physically attractive. I know my insides are beautiful. Can't make anybody find you physically attractive. I mean, you can if you work on yourself. But if you believe that how you look like shouldn't, confusing shit. Here's another comment that says, I feel like half the dudes would likely have a different answer if the camera wasn't on them. Really? Here's another comment that says, the active lifestyle thing is insane to me because before I was chronically ill, I was doing CrossFit 6 times a week. I was so fit. I was still 250 lbs, 70% of health and weight loss, all these different things. It comes down to diet, man. Another comment here says, for real, like just saying you're not attracted to bigger people. It's way more honest, and don't you dare tell me I'm not fat. I'm pretty. Another comment here says, my ex used to tell me how pretty of a face I have. I was always kind of hurt by that because it felt like he didn't find the rest of me attractive. Why not lose weight? Another comment says, I'm mid/plus and a competitive powerlifter. The whole size unhealthy lifestyle is hilarious because I doubt they could keep up with me in the gym. Here's another comment that says, nailed it. Another comment that says, yes, hard agree. It's almost like they looking for praise for not being shallow. And that's about it. Listen, guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.